If I started investing in 2026, this is exactly what I would do. Coming from somebody who right out of college started investing full time, I made $5 million in a single month by 25, $100 million by 30 years old. And this is exactly what I would do if I was going to get started investing in 2026. All right, so that's what we're going to go over in this video. First, I'm going to go over the opportunity, what I see right now. Next, ROI potential. Go over some of the tax benefits for a lot of you that work full-time jobs, how you can actually reap the benefits of investing in this thing. And then we're going to go over what's next. So number one, let's get it started with the opportunity. Okay, so I've been investing in real estate and investing in other things for a very long time since I graduated from college around 12 years ago now. And I want to go over this opportunity because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I think we're in right now. And the opportunity is in apartment buildings, okay? Now, apartment buildings 5 years ago were at 3 or 4% interest rates. Right now, we are at 5 to 7% interest rates, okay? These people who bought these buildings at 3 to 4% interest rates, right, 5 to 10 years ago, they're coming up on a refinance. They didn't budget interest rates going from 3 to 7, 3 to 6. They didn't budget for all this new construction to happen in the South. They didn't budget for all of these things that are actually happening and actually part of reality. They didn't budget for COVID, right? They didn't budget for all this craziness that's happened over the last 10 years. And the way that apartment building deals work is that apartment buildings have a 5 to 10 year loan term. So the term of the loan is 5 to 10 years, which means every 5 to 10 years they have to sell or refinance. So it kind of creates this cycle where it's like, all these apartment buildings kind of have to turn over. They either have to sell or refinance every 5 to 10 years. So it gives you these small windows of opportunity for people to go in there and actually get their hands on some of these buildings that really aren't available to the rest of the population during other times, because you can't lock them up for 30 years. They kind of retrade hands, or a lot of them do try to trade hands every 5 to 10 years to either try to level up or they're in a tough situation. They need to get out of them. So this is the opportunity that I'm seeing right now. These landlords that bought right here 5 to 10 years ago at 3 or 4% interest rates, they have to now refi or sell at 5 to 7. And what a lot of them are doing is selling these apartment buildings. And that's why 12 months ago, I started a multifamily real estate fund to go ahead and buy these apartment buildings. Grant Cardone's buying these similar types of apartment buildings. Alex Hormozy just started his first real estate fund to buy these exact kind of apartment buildings, right? So this is the opportunity that I'm seeing, and a lot of other, big investors are also seeing the same exact opportunity that is here. So this is the opportunity. Now, before you exit the video saying I don't have enough money to invest in apartment buildings, we're going to go through that, and I'm going to show you how to do it with little money. Okay. Next, I want to go over the ROI potential. So, okay, cool, Antoine, how much can I actually make on these apartment buildings? So we just bought a 30-unit building. Actually, I have the numbers pulled up over here. 30 units. We bought it for $2.4 million. Okay. We had to put down $900K plus $300K in rehab, so 1.2. Okay, there's obviously other costs and stuff like that, but we had to put down 1.2 on a $2.4 million purchase price. So this is around a 50% down that we do, because we had to do a lot of value add and renovations. But this $1.2 million for our investors, right? Our investors, it's around a 15% ROI. Now, if you are going out there to buy your own apartment building, I would anticipate you can make around 15 to 20%. And by the way, this is not an offering to sell any kind of security or anything like that. This is just purely educational content for you guys. But it's just to show a real life example of what's happening now. So we bought it for $1.2 million. That $1.2 million will make a 15 to 20% return on investment. And again, it's going to be like a 3 to 7 year project, because we're eventually going to have to sell or refinance. We actually got a 10-year loan on this one, but you can make a 15 to 20% return on investment. Okay. Now, that might be like, okay, cool, fantastic. I don't have $1.2 million. Again, we'll handle that in a little bit, and I'll show you how you can kind of get around that. The 15 to 20% is what I want you to focus on. Like, we just have to figure this out, because there is a big opportunity. properties are now trading hands. We have to go and find these kinds of deals where you can get a 15 to 20% return on investment. If you want to learn how to analyze these deals, I have other videos showing the breakdown of how to go and underwrite these deals and find them and all that kind of stuff. So go watch the other videos. But 30 unit building, we just bought 15 to 20% return on investment, okay? If you were just going to go and buy it yourself, right? Now, the return gets even crazier because of the tax benefits. So yeah, again, using this example. So we bought a building for 2.4, right? 30% of that property we can write off in year one. What's 2.4 times 30% is 720. We get a $720,000 tax bonus depreciation to write off against other income in year one. So that's a $720,000 in savings, right? And let's say you have a 50% tax rate just to keep it easy, 720, well, actually let's do 40%. That would be an extra $300K in tax savings, all right? Times 40. So you get $300,000 in tax savings, dollars literally saved just for buying this building. So yes, you wrote a big check, you wrote a $1.2 million check, but minus the taxes of $300K is really a $900K investment. A $900K investment now that was going to make you a 15 to 20% return. Now the return goes from 15 to 20 to 20 to 30. Ah, interesting. Pretty cool, right? The other cool thing is that this return up here, this 15 to 20, most of it's going to be tax-free because you're going to have all these expenses, operating expenses, interest, all this kind of stuff that's going to go against this return. So unlike the stock market at 8%, you pay half in taxes whenever you sell it. This, you get cash flow, you get the tax savings, the bonus depreciation, additional tax savings to go against your other income. So this is where the real estate part gets pretty insane. Now, obviously, it's way easier to just like look at a straight up deal, have a tax person look at it, have your CPA look at it, do a cost segregation study, which is how you figure out number 3. But this is what you should start thinking about if you didn't know this about real estate and multifamily investing already. These are the kinds of things that make so many rich people, billionaires, invest in real estate because of all these advantages and benefits. So now we're already at a 20 to 30% ROI, but then you tack on the tax savings on top of that, pushes it even higher into the stratosphere to where it's like it's a pretty much unbeatable investment, and it is still considered safe, unlike stocks and stuff like that, which could be considered high risk depending on if you're individually picking stocks. This is going to be a very, 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 very safe investment because it is a physical, tangible asset. They're not making any more of it, okay? So, Antoine, that's all fantastic, but I don't have $1.2 million, buddy. So, number 4, a couple different ways that you can get involved. There's 2 classes of people, below 200K in income and above 200K in income. Saying classes of people is the wrong word to say, but there's 2 different types of people in the eyes of the SEC. So this is an SEC requirement. If you make less than $200,000 a year, or have $1 million less in net worth, or if you're married, you make less than $300,000 a year, you are not accredited. Okay. If you make over 200 grand a year, 300,000 K a year if you're married, 300K a year joint, or 1 million plus in net worth, then you would be considered accredited. Okay, so these are the 2 different classifications that the SEC put together. Sadly, only people who are accredited over here in this realm typically get access to the types of opportunities that I just showed you above. Yeah, if you are accredited and that is your bucket, you can either invest actively or passive. If you want to be passive and you want to write like a 25K check, click the link down below in the description, okay? Top link in the description, you can book a call with me, you can see some deals we're working on, we'll break down all these numbers for you, but in real life, okay? Now, if you want to be active, you are going to have to either 1, come up with your own cash, or 2, raise money. And you can do a smaller deal. You don't have to do a 26 unit building. You can do a 15 unit building. I wouldn't recommend going any lower than that. You might still have to raise $800,000, but you can be active and you can watch my other content, my other videos to go and try to do it yourself. But if you are accredited and you are active, 1, you're accredited so you have some more money. 2, you make enough money from your job so you actually have some money to put into the deal. And you can also go out there and raise money from friends and family or coworkers to buy these apartment buildings. Cool? Sweet. Now, if you're not accredited, there's a couple different things you can do. Let's do it again. Active, passive. So sadly, this is a big no. Because you are not accredited, you cannot invest passively into multifamily apartment buildings or into private equity real estate funds or anything like that. So you would, sadly, this opportunity isn't available to you. So you have to be active. But you also make less than $200,000 a year. So it might benefit you to be active because you can actually jack up your income. Okay. Now, a couple different ways that you can do it. Since you probably don't have much capital available, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you make less than $200,000 a year, you can be a deal finder. You can find deals, or two, you can raise money. Okay, both of these are going to be amazing skill sets that you can go ahead and learn. For number one, there is another video that I have on my channel showing you how to go out there and find deals, analyze deals, all that kind of stuff. Once you find that deal, go ahead and raise money for that deal from friends and family and people that you know to do your own deal, because that's going to benefit you, because right now you already make less than $200,000 a year. We need to get that income up, right? So you can become accredited, so you can get access to then do passive and active, right? And so if you make less than $200,000 a year, be active in the deal. If you make over 200K, my recommendation number one is to be passive and start there to learn the process. Eventually down the line, if you want to become a real estate professional, you can move to active. But this is the number one position here. This is the number one position here. And then this is number two. Okay. So that's it. That is how I would recommend investing in 2026, what I would recommend investing in, the returns you can make, the tax benefits, and then depending on where you are on the spectrum, these are the couple of different things that I would recommend. Thanks so much for staying till the end of the video. Again, if you're accredited, click the link down below, top of the description. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.